Greetings everyone, AngradeVT here with another Age Mythology Replay. So on the right side as Yellow Thor, we got Leif Erikson. So on the left side as the Red Hades, we got Zid. When it comes to these major and minor gods, Thor is of course of dwarves and armies. Start with dwarves and gatherers. Dwarves cost 10 less gold and almost as good as gatherers from food and wood. Dwarven armors can be built and research upgrades in any age. Dwarven armor costs 10% less, and you receive free dwarf per dwarven armor upgrade. Can research additional 3 upgrades. His unique upgrade also improves Herseers. When it comes to Hades, Hades of course is the ranged soldier and buildings focus. You got 20% chance for a shade as a rebate. 15 myth units have 50% increased hit points, range order plus 1 range and line of sight. Fortifications have plus 2 range, and you get free burning pitch and ballistics. So something tells me Toxays would be a good option for Hades, to say the least. Or Seti or Freyja. Freyja is, I think, generated by default. For as far as OK God power, Valkyrie is a nice myth unit, mounted healer. Of course, you also get a upgrade here to improve their speed and hit points, and of course, hero hit points as well, which could be quite nice for the could be a Herseer focus for the Thor player. Force Seti course provides healing spring, nice little health. Trolls to troll your opponent. Dwarven Plus breastplates improves your Erdman and Berserks. All Sarks are pretty common. And increase your infantry speed and heroes, so this can also help support the heroes playstyle. Hades, of course, can go for Athena. Ares, I'm more biased towards Ares. Athena provides an excellent god power restoration. You get Minotaur, and of course, increase your Pierce armor for your infantry, which is not important when fighting against Norse. And Cerestia improves your hoplites range and damage. Ares, Pestilence help will slow down production. Cyclopes, a good frontline myth unit as well. Phobos, Spear of Panic, gives your hoplites and Prodromos plus 1 divine damage, particularly useful for Prodromos since they are counter unit. Daimio's Sword of Dread, earlier high passes against Norse, not a bad idea. And Inyo's Bow of Horror improves your Toxays damage by 10%, which Toxays would generally be good against Norse either way. I am generally biased towards Ares in most situations, and Hades as queued on up Ares. Copper Shields. When it comes to relics, we do have Blanket of Emperor Zoe. Buildings get Crush Armor. Bow of Artemis makes your ranged soldier myth units 10% cheaper. Not bad. Very nice for really any sort of plays out. The Mitter's Throne, drop side Oxcars, houses, and manors, cost less and build faster. Probably better for the Greeks than the Norse, but still nice to have. And Little Crow Circle, weapon upgrades at the army are cheaper. Just the weapon upgrades, so the bronze, not the breastplates, not the shields, just the weapons are 50% cheaper. Not bad. Actually, yeah, that can be very nice. Save you a decent amount of monies. After all, let's see. That is, yeah, copper weapons, 9090. Doesn't get a cheap upgrade either way, but still. Cutting all this in half, which may not necessarily stack, maybe more multiplicative. Still quite nice. Here are a lot of myth units being summoned. Redgon for Parapegasus. And of course, got his free Cyclops. Seti on the build queue, Herseers is on the way. Goats have been obtained. Hammer of Thunder being queued on up.
Empty me.
We do now have some trolls on the field, ready to troll his opponent. One Cyclops, no additional Cyclopes. Villagers heading out of the settlement. And looks like neither side is being aggressive at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward. This is likely going to be just economics at the moment. Red is obtaining more goats. Goats, of course, the goat. There are 10 goats currently right there versus 4. That's not great. So Red's finding a good number of goats. Ajax and the Cyclops. Basic walls there. Rhinoceros goes down. Military academies. More Herseers do have a Great Hall. Achilles and Ajax push forward. We'll find a good number of Herseers. They decide to walk by each other. Cyclops is not going to have much chance against these Herseers. Cyclops goes down. Oh, and there is the emergency defense of the Sentinels. They're not from North Sentinel Island. Pestilence has been queued on up. Looks like he's going to slow down his opponent. Building nothing, so that Pestilence was a very bad. Guess he thought his opponent was trying to build out or amassing units. It does last for 60 seconds. It's a good amount of time. Defensive also firing projectiles. Granted, these are not upgraded. Still shows that the town center can, but means that the watchtowers and sentry towers can't. That is something I don't remember from Gold Edition. The Dwarven Gold Mine has been summoned. Not a great one. Healing Spring Floor in the field. Achilles severely wounded, but keeping him wounded like that will cause some issues for Red. After all, next conflict it will be quickly smited. Pulls back the Healing Spring, but fighting from the Healing Spring cancels the town center. And Red obtains the Healing Spring. Red has a healing source. Red could try fortifying to steal it. Bragi's been queuing up, so that's what Thor's been eyeing. Aging up. Also going for another troll. We got 2 trolls on the opponent, so it'll be 3 trolls to troll his opponent. Upgrades. That's going for the cave troll. Pegasus does speed the ox cart going on up for the zebra. Battle board now established. For Hades, I would recommend him to age up to Apollo for Sunray, and Manticore are an excellent myth unit. Pegasus getting stoned. And yellow has reobtained that healing spring. We do have Apollo queued on up for Hades. He also is researching, what was this called again? To give early Hypasis. Demios, Sword of Dread. Battleborn managed to strut its way into his opponent's base. Does have 5 moon speed, 30 crush, 60 armor. Achilles and Hades trying to, not Achilles, and Ajax trying to stop the Battleborn. The barracks has gone down.
Έτοιμος. Πρόσταγμα.
Hippus moving their way forward. Do have a Manticore now here. Hippus does find some of these villagers. Battleborn does buck around, seeing the scout. I suppose the scout was pretty useful if it did that. Did kill off a good number of villagers. Looks like Res head by 20 villagers, have secondary town center, and didn't lose any villagers, or at least not too many so far. Got these units still roaming around. Yellow has quite a sizable force in the field, 73 versus 54. 3.5k value versus 2.6.
Έτοιμος.
Yeah, now the Huskarls push way forward. Troll gets a pretty good knockback there. Another knockback there. Really trolling his opponent. We do now have the flame weapons now being researched, forcing Red to fall back as he was trying to close on in. You have Underworld Passage counter-attacking with that same army. We'll pick off a number of these units here. Yellow can push forward. He's going to close out the retreat path of this army. This game's getting very messy very quick. But with this, he knows where his opponent's army is here. He either A, has to fall back, or B, charge forward. Looks like he's just doing neither at the moment. He knows his opponent's army is, so he should just charge forward if he's not going to fall back. Tyron or Achilles still here, but Achilles about to go on down. Red has a decent force over here, mostly just Hypasis, counter infantry units. We got Sunray and Inyo's Bow of Horror, which will really supercharge his Tox phase by plus 25%. Do know Sunray also affects all ranged units, both Myth unit and Human Soldier. We got the box formation here. Huskarls counter range units, which the high passes will be useful for that. So high passes Tuxtate could be a good composition. Medium range number research as well as the bronze weapons. Thor has quite a bit of favor stored up. He'll bring in some more god powers. He's getting some nice bit of healing here from the healing spring. And finally rebooting that town center. He was interrupted in building. 90 villagers versus 46. Red has twice the amount of civilians. Red also has quite a bit of food and wood to work with. Needs more gold. And so Red's actually pretty close to aging up. It also has a fortress here. For Hades, you can either go for Artemis or Hephaestus. Both are a good option. Artemis does improve all your ranged soldiers, which should be very nice for all, any unit, would it be Tuxtates. Well, Hephaestus does improve particularly the unique crossbow and the Gastroparatouros, or have announced that. So both will be very nice. Plenty Vault's nice, Earthquake's nice. Yeah. Sun right here improves all ranged units rather than ranged soldiers. So this does affect myth units such as the Manticore. And Manticore is an excellent myth unit. Offers good backline damage. I really do like Manticore. Zeus's Manticores are very nice, costing only 3 population rather than 4, which is massive. But the increased health for Hades is not bad as well. Artemis now being researched, which also offers Earthquake, is very nice. In fact, using Earthquake to destroy a good number of these housing could put you on a pop cap, forcing a bit of awkward response, though granted the Norse can quickly rebuild them with all the military units. And we actually are seeing the Will of Kronos being queued on up for the Cyclopes. Don't know why. Medium range, a pile of upgrades, and pile of units being queued on up. Got 3 trolls in the field, the troll's opponent. Good, he has skipped the shields upgrade. The shields upgrade is something you should go for last against fighting against the Norse, since you only have to worry, generally only have to worry about certain structures and units with the range. Don't have to worry about any mass unit. Skarl's heading down south. Shades throwing a bit of shade against the settlement. Trolls get a pretty good hit there. Shades are turning in the throwing axemen. Shades are not great, they're just free. Artemis almost completed. Earthquake right here will not be useful, but Yellow's arm is quickly going on down. Earthquake has been summoned. And with that, Yellow backs to the game. This is AngradeVT saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.